It's 3 days after the transfer. I just got back from a long walk. It wasn't that crazy long. It was a steep hill, and I do this all the time. But when I was up on the hill, I started feeling so tired suddenly. And I'm like, I feel suddenly so tired. It's weird because I actually slept really well last night, and the kids all slept really well. So I don't know. Other than that, not really feeling anything. And I'm having breakfast, so let me show you what I've got. This is homemade guacamole. This is smoked salmon. I got some Brazil nuts, and then I got some just raspberries and a tangerine. And that's what I'll eat before lunch. It's already 9:30 because I went for a long walk, and now I gotta get some work done. Other than that, I don't feel any cramping. The nausea, I can't really count that as any symptom, and I don't feel it right now because for the past few months, approaching menopause, I've been feeling quite nauseous. Sometimes I had this underlying nausea constantly, and then sometimes it would be really good for a couple days. I didn't have it, and then it would come back and hit me. And I actually threw up a couple times. And I read on the internet, because when you just Google nausea, menopause, it says, well, it can be a symptom, but it's a rare symptom. And then I found a website, I don't remember the name of it, but where it's like a blog from someone, and so many comments below that article. The article was about nausea in menopause. So many comments from women who say, oh my goodness, I've been struggling with this so much, like for a year or for 2 years or for months. So it's not that uncommon. And I feel like today, like last weekend, it was almost like completely gone. I felt so good. And then when I got back home yesterday, I'm just all messed up. 2 days ago when I came back home, and I'm just so tired all of a sudden today. It kind of hit me again. Today it's okay, but I'm not really feeling any. I feel like there's no pulling, no twitching, no period pain or anything. So we'll see how this continues. I did a few minutes of meditation. I like doing this, and I just put on some meditation music, and then I'll lie down there on my yoga mat. And I just focus on, welcoming the baby. It's 4 days past transfer, and I guess I'm just gonna finish the update for yesterday because I recorded it in the middle of the day, so the next day will always be kind of in hindsight what else happened. So I was quite tired yesterday, the entire day. And when I lay in bed, normally I can fall asleep very quickly, but a few things. Number one, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit TMI, okay, because it's just the nature of this, the process of embryo transfer and becoming pregnant and taking hormones. Those progesterone suppositories, it's very, very itchy down there because it's like always, you know what I'm talking about. I could not fall asleep. I was like, it's itching like crazy. And I took a bath before and all, but right before I go to sleep, I insert another. So I decided to get back up. Also, I had cold feet, although I was wearing socks. So I got back up. I made me a heating bottle, and I also made, I actually used an ointment that I always used for the twins when they had like some diaper rash. So I used that, and that really helped a lot. And then I had a little bit of restless legs, which I rarely ever have, except when I'm pregnant. But also, it's very early. I checked today, and I went to the dentist. Whew, one more visit, and then it's all gonna be fixed. I read an article where it says it takes about a week after transfer to actually truly feel real pregnancy symptoms, because technically it's gonna take at least 5 days for the embryo to be fully implanted until the placenta starts forming and releasing HCG, which then actually triggers all these, responses and these symptoms. I think a lot of symptoms can be attributed to taking the estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone does make you tired, although of course, I took it 5 days before the transfer I started. But, sometimes it takes a while to take effect. Even right now, I'm very tired. I woke up this morning almost like really, really disappointed, because when I woke up, I felt nothing, like nothing. I was looking for, maybe tender breasts, maybe some pulling or some, I didn't feel anything. And I was actually convinced, I don't think it worked. I mean, of course, I don't know at this point, but I was very convinced that, nah, I'm not pregnant. But at this point, no one can say I am pregnant or I'm not pregnant. That's why I don't take tests early, because it doesn't make sense, because implantation isn't even finished. So, even if there is an embryo present, that doesn't really mean anything until it's fully implanted and that has been successful. So for me personally, I don't want to take early tests, because it doesn't mean anything if there's a really early positive, because implantation could still fail. And that means you're not pregnant. The article actually specifically was like, this is not a pregnancy yet. Just the presence of an embryo does not mean pregnancy. So it says really 7 days after. So 7 days after will be next Monday. However, I think I'm going to wait even longer to test, because here's the thing. I just want to feel it in my body and know it, whether it worked or not. If I think it didn't work and then I take a test and it is okay and I am pregnant, then I'll be happy. But if I'm convinced it did not work, then I'm not so disappointed. If I feel like when I know pretty sure that I'm feeling symptoms of pregnancy, so I've had 4 pregnancies. 2 of them were successful, of course, that ended in live births. But I had 4 pregnancies, so I know what it feels like in the beginning of pregnancy. So unless I feel quite certain, I don't want to start taking tests. I just want to feel it, and I want to know it in my heart, and then I want to take a test. That's just me. And we will see. So far, I do feel a little bit. This morning I felt nothing, and right now I do feel on my left side. It couldn't be my ovaries, but I feel slightly on the left side. I feel some pulling, or whatever you want to call it, like pressure. Like right before you start your period, you feel pressure, and that's kind of what it feels like. So we'll see what else the day brings. My nausea today is not so bad, and the nausea, again, this is not from anything pregnancy related. The nausea I've had for a few months, that I'm pretty sure is related to menopause, because it started last year, and it's just underlying, and it's sometimes suddenly I feel nauseous, and it's almost like morning sickness, except it's not. So I will keep you updated when there are new symptoms. It is 6 days past transfer. Oh, I don't need this. I was just looking at my phone. So yesterday there was really nothing. And today I feel like nothing. So on the one hand, that makes me wonder, because looking back on all my pregnancies, I feel like I always had like a pulling, which I sometimes feel like maybe there is this heaviness in my uterus, but then again, I'm thinking maybe not. Also probably, well, number one, when I woke up, I usually felt really relaxed when I woke up. I made myself a decaf coffee today. I just had a craving, and I feel like I'm going back and forth between I should have symptoms and looking back on all my pregnancies before that were all positive. And then I'm thinking maybe it's a good thing. So earlier today I was really sad, because I felt like I think it failed because I'm feeling nothing. But then again, it's only 6 days past transfer. So I think looking back all the way when I had my daughter, which was my first ever pregnancy. I mean, she's almost 13 years old, so it's been a long time. But I remember exactly, I mean, you will remember your very first pregnancy. I was on a ship, I was working there as an artist, and I remember starting to feel like weird aftertaste around the time of my missed period.
Hello, Shaka.
No sooner, and I think that's when everything started. And I didn't start feeling nauseous until I was about 6 weeks. From 6 to 12 weeks, like textbook. That's when I felt nauseous with my oldest daughter. Also, I mean, with the twins, it was 2. So that would explain why the symptoms were strong and very early, which now we only have 1 embryo transferred, so it could be later. So, always going down those rabbit holes, right? It's really hard not to overanalyze because you're in this body, but I just don't want to test. I don't want to test early. I want it to be clear. I've been cleaning and I've been trying to keep busy. It's Sunday, so tomorrow's Monday, and I think I'm gonna take a test tomorrow. Then it's gonna be 7 days post-transfer, which means it would be, let's see, 7, that's 12 days DPO, which I think pretty much any test should pick something up. We'll see. It's 8 days post-transfer. And this is such a mind thing. I know, of course, everything is gonna be okay, whatever happens, but I just haven't felt anything. So that is very unusual. So I was pregnant 4 times. Looking back, every single pregnancy started out with me 2 things really distinctly, or 3 things that haven't happened every single time. Boobs were sensitive, or at least, like when I'm touching, it's like it's full, it feels perky. Not happening at all, I feel like. Normal boobs. Second of all, there was always an underlying nausea. Although looking back, I think with my daughter when I was pregnant, it started maybe even just a little bit later. But the thing that happened every single time was that that aftertaste changed. So 4 pregnancies, of which 2 were successful, but every time when there was HCG coursing in my blood, there was this aftertaste. So like probably drinking tea doesn't matter, but like eating, like things would taste normal, and then right after, I would have this weird aftertaste that tastes different than the thing normally tastes. So I have to be honest, I feel like it didn't work. Also, I feel like there's not any maybe heaviness in my uterus. I feel like there's a slight amount of constipation because of the progesterone. It can cause that. And so I'm not sure how to, I feel like I'm not feeling pregnant at all. I did a workout this morning and I'm bummed. I don't know why. I haven't even taken a test, but I think I'm gonna take a test today. It's weird. Yes, there are videos out there from women who say, like, I had no symptoms. But then when you look at the videos, they're like, oh, but I did have this symptom and that. So it's kind of like, no, they did have some symptoms. I'm already disappointed, although I haven't taken a test. And I just want to go ahead and take a test today because I feel like I just want to know, because I'm someone, I allow myself to be sad. It's okay. And then it's okay. I'll get over it within, I don't know, maybe an hour. I'll be bummed for the day, and then the next day I'm like, well, actually immediately I'm already like going. My brain goes to work and I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? How are we going on? Are we doing it again? I already looked at an Airbnb. I'm like, am I driving down there? It's 12 hours drive. Am I driving there and going on a week-long vacation with my kids? Maybe I'll maybe I'll rent an RV and we'll go down there, and it's beautiful. There's a beach. I mean, it's not summer yet, but it's much milder there than it is here in Germany. So even February, it'd be kind of nice there. So I'm already making plans because I feel like it failed. I just don't even know it yet. So it's time to take a pregnancy test. So technically today would be 13 DPO, which, you know, I got these, but I'm not doing this without my daughter. So I'm gonna post this today, and then probably the day after this, you're gonna see the results. I want to know and I don't want to know, but I just want to be I want to live in reality. And it sucks because when the test is negative, it's like the clinic wants you to like, oh, but don't stop taking your medications, and they don't want you to take a test until 2 weeks after transfer. But I just don't even I wouldn't want to prolong, you know, if the test today and tomorrow is like 100% just blank, there's basically no way I would be pregnant. And yeah, we could do another blood draw and be like, is there any level of HCG? So I don't know. I just want to, you know, it's like I want to live in reality. I'm always optimistic, but I'm also realistic. I don't want to prolong. So the next video is going to be the test results. I'll see you then.